They have been doing the heavy lifting and the work for Ole Miss. They're hitting 500. They have 3 of the 5 RBIs for Ole Miss in this tournament.
Yamas the hero in the upset of South Carolina, and it was George the hero in the upset over the 5-seed Tennessee. And Maddie already has new records as a freshman for single-season homers and ribs. Rebs in red, Longhorns in white, and that is the MVP of last year's World Series, Tegan Kavan, in the circle for the Longhorns as they make their SEC tournament debut this year, coming off the double bye as one of the top 4 seeds. Out of West Des Moines, Iowa, 20-game winner again this year. And it's Kennedy Bunker, one of the few catchers that gets to hit leadoff in the power leagues this year. Swing and a miss, going after the rise ball. That's a Kavan specialty. Bunker so far 1 for 7 in the SEC tournament, as they will try and win 5 games in 5 days. Their one and only tournament title in 2017, they won 4 games in 4 days to get it done.
You can see how that's just been happening. I mean, the fact that you can play more games in days, normally you think you get tired, but instead it's been momentum, confidence, understanding that your season can get extended, especially heading into the postseason.
And Tegan Kavan opens up with a strikeout.
Tegan Kavan, so much experience in that circle, just a great demeanor, has a lot of different pitches, a drop ball to rise ball combination where she has that great vertical separation. She's going to be at the low 70s, but it's the changeup that really helps mix things up and sets it up. 5 inches of vertical break on that changeup. She throws out about 12% of the time, the rise ball about 64% of the time.
That's such a great look, Smitty, at the changeup, because you think about her vertical break up with the rise ball. Now you're going the opposite direction when she's throwing the off speed.
It's just fun to watch. When all of her pitches are clicking, she is magical in that circle.
Picked up a couple of wins in the regular season series when Texas got a sweep in mid-March over Ole Miss. Texas also the team that knocked the Rebels out last year in this round in the SEC tournament.
Well, I thought
one of the few bright spots, though, for Ole Miss was Mackenzie Pickens up to bat right now. She had a home run off of Tegan Kavan in that series earlier this year. So she saw it out of the hand really well against Kavan.
1 for 6, has scored a couple of runs here in Lexington. And it's back-to-back strikeouts to open it up for Kavan.
Back-to-back strikeouts. First strikeout on the rise ball. This one she's going to come back with that changeup we talked about. And when she keeps this in the zone about 60 miles an hour, so 58 to 60 miles an hour, that pitch is outstanding. Second strikeout of the game on the changeup for Kavan.
That's some horizontal movement. We're talking about the vertical break. That thing was running into the hands.
And now the first meeting with Percy Yamas and Maddie George on deck. So the 2 big sluggers in the heart of the order for the Rebels. They've won a couple of pitching duels so far here at the SECs, and then it's been clutch hits. Yamas, a first-inning home run that stood up to beat Carolina. And George, a big 2-run single in the stunner over Tennessee.
Yamas good numbers against Kavan as well, 3 for 5 with an extra base hit. She was the only batter in this lineup with no swing and miss against Kavan. Everything Smitty just talked about with the stuff Kavan has, you know that is a hard task.
Yeah, Kavan was on point in that series. She had 12 strikeouts. She was decent with her walks. But that was a different Ole Miss team.
Yes.
They're playing with a lot of momentum right now. They're swinging with confidence.
Such a dangerous thing for Jamie Traxel's club, who has taken 2 programs to the World Series. Last year with Ole Miss for the first time ever, and in her previous role at Minnesota as well. This is a club that set a new school record. Holder and Reese Atwood, the career RBI record holder. Stewart moving up to the 2 spot in the lineup in recent weeks. Trying to get her more at-bats. And they will face Emily Boyer. They saw her a couple of times during the regular season and fared quite well against her. But Emily has been fantastic through the first couple of games here at the SEC tournament.
Ball, outside.
As Caden Henry steps in to lead things off. 412 hitter.
The hottest hitter. When you look at the last 5 games. She's got so many tools. 8 hits in her last 5. Close to 450. She was 5 for 9 with 2 extra base hits against Ole Miss. Specifically Emily Boyer. The biggest thing with Boyer too is just the walks. And that's something that Ole Miss has worked so much on, is limiting those free passes.
Ball.
Henry, you saw the speed in that leadoff, scoring 66 runs. She also is top 10 in the league in doubles, so she has some pop. Pulls that to the right side, and right there at second base is Mackenzie Pickens. 1 down, and that'll bring up Katie Stewart. Number 1 in the SEC this year in batting average and OPS. 2nd in the league in homers, on-base percentage, and slug.
Ball.
Biggest thing she's adjusted this season. She had a great year last year, but the power numbers with the batting average have gone up because of her ability to hit pitches up in the zone. She was always a low ball hitter. Now she can also get anything up in the zone.
Boyer, we talk a lot about her drop ball, but she also has that off speed. She's going to need to use that a lot today against these big hitters through the middle of the Texas lineup.
And you always have to have your tape measure or your GPS handy when Katie Stewart steps in. There have been 9 home runs this year of over 290 feet. 9 of them. In the country, Katie has 3 of those 9. Everybody else has 6. Ground ball to third, and the tag is applied to get her. 2 down.
Now, Emily Boyer has done
140 strikeouts on the season, but 83 walks. And one of the things the Rebels talked about was do not help out a team like Texas. Make them earn it. Martinez, and it's a 1-2-3 start for Boyer as well. From the opportunity of competing in the NCAA tournament. Alabama beat Arkansas to advance to the semi, but the lower seeds have won 5 of the last 9 to open up this tournament. So let's see what Ole Miss and Maddie George can do. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. The 3 teams that got bounced, Kentucky, Missouri, and Auburn. So perhaps 12 SEC teams likely will be going to the NCAA tournament. And George, boy, she's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
2 hits against Carolina, 2 hits against Tennessee.
She's been on base 6 times. Well, I guess home run doesn't count as on base, but she's
touched a lot of bases.
Touched a lot of bases. She had a couple walks in addition to the 4 hits. It's not playing like a freshman, that's for sure. Had a couple hits against Kavan as well during the regular season.
She is one of the finalists, the top 10 list released for National Freshman of the Year honors. And Kavan has struck out 4 to start the day.
And Kavan just spreading the zone. She's seeing that Maddie George is going up swinging, so she's like, hey, I'm going to make this ball dance and run it out of the zone. And that's a rise ball with a little bit of screwball to it, so it's a little up, a little out. And she gets Maddie George, the freshman, to swing through it.
A Kreis, Schmidl?
You've got all sorts of vertical and horizontal separation.
She did have a stretch of 5 strikeouts in a row during the Ole Miss series during the season. She'll try and match it against Cassie Reisner.
Woo.
We saw Robin Herron with a run of, 6 in a row for Arkansas, and then Alabama broke it up with an Audrey Vandegrift home run. And that opened the floodgates for the Tide. Guessing that Patrick Murphy will likely be the SEC Coach of the Year when the awards come out tomorrow. Preseason picked 9th. They end up 2nd. What a year.
Unbelievable turnaround from where they finished last year.
Take a look at where she's located. Goes down on those knees. Knows she's got time. Across the infield to Katie Stewart. Outstanding defense.
71 miles an hour off the bat. Smoked.
Ball.
This is Leilana Applin out of Stamford, Texas. Looking for her first hit of this SEC tournament. Transferred in from Angelo State, so another D2 All-American in the lineup for Ole Miss. Jamie Traxel, very successful in the portal this offseason. With an RPI of 21, their strength of schedule is 2. So not only are they into the NCAA tournament, but probably a 2 seed in somebody's regional.
It's going to be fun to see the selection show with the new seeding as well. So not just 1 through 16, but all the way through 32 teams to see those 2 seeds.
Yeah. 2 hours of coverage for you on Sunday night, starting at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Knocked down by Wood, and plenty of time. 6 in a row, retired by Kavan.
Terrific in the circle at West Texas A&M. Yes, I had to look it up too. It is about 20 miles south of Amarillo, and she has stepped up big time here for Ole Miss this season. She has done a really good job in the circle, and while her numbers are a little bit worse than last year at Division II, her ERA has gotten really good here late in the season, and she has been lights out here. Big test for her today against Texas, but she believes that she is better than when she faced them earlier in this season, and so far she's shown that.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Holly Rowe. She has just really made some massive improvements. The most that you mentioned, Jess, is that controlling the strike zone. Those 83 walks, a lot of those early in the season, they have done a great job of tightening it up.
Yeah, and her 4 innings of work during the regular season against Texas allowed 11 earned runs. But she already has a win and a save in their first 2 games here at the SEC tournament through 110 pitches in a 4-hit complete game shutout 2 nights ago. And then came out of the bullpen yesterday through 44 pitches.
It's so easy for pitchers to compare yourself to other pitchers. Oh, I'm in the SEC now. I've got to be better. I've got to throw a rise ball. I've got to throw all this stuff. That's not your strength. You don't need to go to it. Her strength is her drop ball and her changeup, and when she lives in that zone and she hammers the corners, she is very difficult to hit.
Test here against Atwood.
Big adjustment Texas is going to need to make against Boyer. They've struggled against drop ball pitchers. We're seeing it already, 3 ground balls. They have swings that are a lot more flat, meaning they're not trying to launch. They don't have that lift type swing, which is a great swing, not against a drop ball pitcher. So for Reese Atwood right now, the biggest adjustment is to try to get underneath that drop ball.
And cannot check her swing, and a strikeout for Atwood.
And that's the pitch. Atwood has been struggling with the off speed. This is a 60-mile-an-hour pitch that blends very well with the drop, but you can see the change of direction and speed, the way that ball is running away from her and down in the zone, and Atwood does not identify it, swings through it. Big strikeout to start the inning.
First for Boyer. This is Leanne.
It's not easy to do. That's why we've seen only ground outs and strikeouts within this game. Well, Leanne Good, the approach is exactly that. Look at this drop. Watch it going down and watch Leanne Good swing path. A great ability to get underneath this pitch. That back knee drives it. No doubter. That thing cleared and left.
At 80 miles an hour.
80 off the bat. Wow.
1-0 Longhorns.
She knew it immediately off the bat. No doubter.
Hannah Wells, opposite field. 2 down.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get the ball in the air more, trying to make that adjustment from the ground balls in the first inning. Now in the second inning, already trying to get underneath it.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Kaya Altmaier. You see the flags, the wind blowing out to right now. The Arizona transfer batting .308 on the season. Been splitting time with Katie Bennett out in left field.
Ball.
1 and 2. And the strikeout there, but the damage done by Leanne Good. How about Arizona and Arkansas, both huge upsets on the road to reach their first World Series, and trying to duplicate it this year as a 13 seed. The lowest seed to ever reach the finals was a 10 seed, South Carolina in 2023. The lowest seeded champion was the Caitlin Lee-led Ole Miss team in 2017. Still searching for their first hit, their first base runner against Tegan Kavan. Smacked foul by Tenley Grisham. It's 7, 8, and 9. Kavan with 4 strikeouts in the first 6 she has faced. Mike White has talked a lot about her reinvention this year, and we've talked about it over the years, Smitty. You cannot stand pat from year to year as a pitcher. Stewart, the scoop over to second, not in time. And Tenley Grisham with the infield hit. Holly, what you got?
Well, Beth, to your point, I spoke with Tegan Kavan this morning about that. What were her goals coming into this season? She said, I felt like why I was so good at the World Series last year, I really was living in it just one pitch at a time, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But she has battled it mentally. She said, it's been hard. I didn't start the season how I wanted, and that has been a challenge. So she had a meeting earlier this week with her coach, Mike White, that I'm going to tell you about after this pitch.
Laying down the bunt, Stewart covers, but the runner advances over to second. Holly?
So Mike White talked to her and said, you know, you're going to have thoughts in your head. They're going to be running through your head no matter what. Which wolf do you choose to believe? The wolf that's telling you you're not good enough, people know what you're throwing, you're not a better version of yourself, or the wolf that knows you have a full arsenal, you have a full toolkit, you know what you're throwing, the pitchers and the batters don't. So he wants her to believe the right wolf, which seems like she is so far today.
Well, and Holly, that's so important because pitchers, it's so easy to get in your head and self-doubting, right? We talk a lot about it with hitters as well, but especially for pitchers, you're involved with every single play of the game. And if your mentality is not right, if you don't have a strong belief system in every pitch that you are throwing, one pitch at a time, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, there's more noise now. I mean, that's the biggest
A lot
thing.
of noise.
A lot of more wolves to listen to.
Well, you got to pick your spirit animal.
Yeah.
I mean, Smitty was the lion.
Yeah, that hair.
Big mane of hair. King of the jungle. Number 9 hitter Taylor Malvin after the nice sacrifice laid down by Ryan Starr. Ole Miss trying to scrap their way to a tie.
Ball.
There's a lot that goes into being an elite athlete nowadays. You look at the number of Olympic athletes that have literally taken time away from their sports just for a wellness, a mental check. Got to be in the right spot.
What are you doing in the off-season when nobody's watching? That's how you shine when the lights are the brightest, if you're putting in the work. Hear it time and again. Don't be afraid to fail. That's how you find out your weaknesses, turn them into strengths.
I was waiting for a quote.
Why wouldn't you go out on a limb, Smitty?
There you go, Demo.
Where the fruit is.
That's where the fruit is. Mr. Mark Twain, my life navigator. He's only been dead for 125 years. Don't look at me like that. Full count to Malvin. That's a nice chop to third, and she'll be safe. And the big slap gets a hopper right in front of the plate. 2 on to the top of the order.
The ground. I'll tell you what, they have Nancy Evans as a pitching coach, but Nancy Evans saw a lot of this at Arizona with their slappers. Just chop the ball, use the ground as your best friend. And we have seen the ground give a lot of high hops. That means it's super dry. Get that lift, and there is no chance. Base hit all day long.
Kennedy bunker. So the top 3 were struck out by Kavan the first time through. Let's see how they adjust. Time runs in scoring position. Go ahead on first.
Kavan really going arm side to a lot of these lefties. Kind of pulling off a little bit. That's when you talked about the scries. That last one was a drop away.
And back to your point as well, Beth, you know, Kavan has had to reinvent herself. She's got to add a little bit more vertical separation with the screwball, a little bit more down and out, those different planes to work on.
She went running back to mono with that 70-mile-an-hour rise ball. Where that bread's buttered. 0-2 now to bunker. Got her again. High heat. 2 down.
Well, she's identified a weakness at the top of Bunker's swing, and just using that rise ball. You can see the swing and miss here. Just how far Bunker is underneath. Look at how far underneath Bunker's swing is. That barrel is to that ball. Great rise ball by Kavan.
Mackenzie Pickens with 2 outs. Two-year starter from Flowery Branch, Texas. Her twin sister Madison, a softballer at Louisville.
That big open stance. And the big reason for this is you'll watch her head, her back eye. So a lot of times that's your dominant eye. So now she has both eyes on the pitcher. So that's what it allows her to do. Then she'll get closed. You see how her head and face is pointed right towards Kavan.
Can't catch up with the rise.
I mean, even with 2 eyes, it's hard to hit that rise ball.
Yeah.
Everybody clap your hands.
Couple on board. The threat here for Ole Miss. Down a run early. The shadows creeping in. Pops it up. Nichols calling for it, and that will end the threat. 1-0, Horns. They hit a rough patch, granted against a very difficult schedule, tough matchups in the SEC, but they're hoping that they can turn it around starting here at the SEC tournament. Nichols off the glove of Boyer, and she'll be safe to lead off the 3rd.
This is a short game paradise. Rare to see just ground so hard, and these slappers, which that game has gone away in a lot of ways. JC Nichols just using the ground again and kind of accelerates. Watch her back leg come through, off the ground. And the ground is an accelerator, and usually it slows down. Not with this dirt.
So here's Ashton Maloney in the 9 spot. Will she move the runner over? She will try. Senior out of Liberty, Missouri.
Man, instead of bunting, I would slap. This is slapper's paradise. Yeah. You've got a few of them in Texas's lineup that have that ability. There she goes. She heard me. Well, because the corners were so far in, so
Yeah.
even if she got down a great bunt, I don't think it's a successful sacrifice, but use the ground today.
Oh, now she'll have to 0-2.
And this is the part of the lineup for Texas where they have so much speed. Nichols, Maloney, Henry, the leadoff. Those where all the stolen bases are at.
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
So we haven't really seen the station-to-station or the speed game of Texas's offense. We've seen a lot of the home run ball, but this is also a team that when they start to use their speed efficiently, they can be tough to get out.
Runner will go, and the stolen base for Nichols.
Well, this is Nichols' 12th stolen base of the year. Gets a good jump. You can see she's looking for contact, goes to the back of the bag. Take a look from the cap cam.
Great look.
Love it.
And did they call a third strike on Maloney there? Yes, they did.
I think on the, she tried to check her swing, and I think she went.
So Maloney, the first out, a strikeout victim, and now to the top of the order. Third for Boyer. And here's Kaden Henry. Grounded out her first time up.
Ball.
And they stand 2-0. Henry to short, diving get by Reisner, but nowhere to go with it. Runners on the corners for Katie Stewart coming up. Katie grounded to third, her first time up. The single season home run record holder this year with 24. Stewart squares, Henry steals second.
And that's just to get the runner over. I mean, if you were Ole Miss, you're like, yes, please bunt. In fact, I will give you that as a gift. Make her not swing away. She is definitely going to be swinging away now.
Or do you put her on first? Pitch to her carefully. They will not. 1-1. 556 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Boyer's been very effective throwing to that glove side of the plate. Not afraid to go to the outside corner to righties, into lefties.
Ball outside.
That's the pitch. I would be hunting if I was Katie Stewart.
Two in scoring position. Nichols and Henry aboard. Missed away again. Cam Ellison is behind the plate today. Steve Gould, Marty Abazishan on the bases. Able to hold up, and it is ball four. So the base is now loaded for Vivi Martinez. Big opportunity here for the Longhorns. With one out and the heart of their order up. Vivi's 2 for 10 this year with the bases loaded.
Ball.
Does not have a grand slam, but has driven in 6. First half of the season, they were really good driving them in. Not so much the second half.
Their average cut in half. Anytime you go from first to 233rd. Part of that, of course, is the conference and who they're playing. But also something that Mike White's talked a lot about his confidence. Talked about it with Kavan. Holly Rowe was telling about the story about her and the Wolves and what they listen to. But for these hitters, the pressure they put on themselves, they have the target on their back.
Well, just the way you frame it. You know, he was saying, you know, we feel like we're not doing well, but he's like, you look at the numbers, they're not that bad. Defense pulled in for Ole Miss.
In for a strike to Vivi. Grounded down the first baseline, her first time up. A couple of singles and a walk here in the bottom of the third for Texas.
Ball.
That's a great spot. And that is right at the knees. Maybe it's a little in. You can't bring it up any more than that. Based on how to use a strike.
Ball.
3-1. And you've got Reese Atwood waiting in the wings.
Theme of the inning. We talked about Boyer being a ground ball pitcher, and this Texas team, even though we saw the home run last inning from Leanne Good, it's been all about the ground balls in this inning. Use the ground and just no chance. I mean, Vivi Martinez gets this, almost hits her front foot, but just elevates off of this. Base hit and 2 more runs come in.
Well, and Boyer had to bring that drop ball up because the previous 2 pitches close to the zone didn't get the call. So in that count, she has to make it a little sweeter, and Vivi Martinez capitalizes on it.
Activity now in the bullpen for the Rebels. Kyra Aycock on the right. Grayson Jordan also out there. A couple of right-handers. Aycock was the starter yesterday. Grayson Jordan just 6 appearances on the season. So pitching coach Nancy Evans, as she talks to Boyer, trying to settle her down, see if they can get through this. You got to deal with Atwood, who you struck out with a changeup the first time up. Three hits in the inning. And a 3-0 Texas lead. 1 out here for Reese. Off speed misses outside. Out in front of that one.
Still not identifying it.
Not at all.
Talked about that earlier this game. Is something that clearly Reese has struggled with that off speed, the changeup.
Yeah, almost to the point where you need to sit every pitch change and just react hard.
1-2. Struck her out with the off speed again. 2 down.
Boyer has an elite drop ball, but this changeup as well has been outstanding here at the SEC tournament. You can see the way that she throws that out of the back of her hand. Just really good movement. Takes so much off of it. Coming in about 59 miles an hour. Atwood way out in front of it.
So here's Leanne Good, who hit the solo home run in the second. With an 80-mile-an-hour exit velo, which is extraordinary. Whew. Falls behind 0-2.
That's really aggressive defense for Ole Miss. The bunker's going to go down, and they don't have a cut. So you could see that Pickens is behind second. Reasoner is coming in front. I guess they were just thinking that Katie Stewart at third wasn't going to go anywhere. That ball off the glove puts another big run up on the board for Texas.
A stolen base and an E6. 4-0 Horns.
69 stolen bases on the season for Texas. That's first in the SEC, a huge part of their game.
It's the third this inning, guys. And now a runner in scoring position with Martinez down at second.
And in their series earlier this year, Ole Miss was 7 for 7 on stolen bases. Texas, my apologies. Against Ole Miss. Yes, my apologies.
Called strike 3, ends the inning, but it's a big one for the Longhorns.
5 strikeouts.
Just a couple hits so far for Ole Miss.
Ball.
Had a threat in the third, and it was put down.
I'm a lefty right now, Percy Yamas specifically. I would get on the plate because it has been very clear she's not gone glove side meaning into these righties, just like the package Smitty showed. Everything has been away. Toes on the line, challenger.
Facing Yamas, George, and Reasoner. She struck both Yamas and George out the first time through.
Hey, come on, ladies.
As the heart of the order comes around a second time to face Teagan. One of the 3 superstar pitchers all in action today. Jordy Fromm, a win over Michigan in the Big Ten tournament for Nebraska, struck out 9 today. Nigeri Kennedy, Texas Tech beat Baylor. She had a 1-hitter with 6 strikeouts.
She gave up a hit. All right.
She had a perfect game.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect game last week.
Yeah, she did. 5-inning perfecto. Mia Williams hit a 2-run home run, by the way, for Tech. We'll be monitoring the other games today, especially the 7 o'clock Eastern start for UCLA against Penn State. The home run chase continues with Kendall Wells, Megan Grant, Jordan Woolery, all with over 30 home runs this year for the first time in D1 history.
And they're all right there. I want to just split screen tonight because UCLA will be playing at the same time as Oklahoma just every time they come up to bat.
Kendall Wells and the Sooners, our second game tonight against Georgia. And a walk to Yamas. Maddie George is capable of cutting the deficit in half with 1 swing. First free pass from Teagan.
She was a strikeout victim of that scries, that rise ball kind of moving away to these lefties. I'm sure they're going to go right back there. That's the pitch. It's a tough pitch. Jenny Finch is actually one that pitched that pitch very well against left-handed batters. Creating that angle, it's just a different look for left-handed batters.
Popped up and drifting towards the, right off the top of our camera. Joe fortunately stayed out of the way of that one.
I don't think he saw it.
Put a dent in the
Almost
camera.
got him.
He's looking for it.
Oh, almost missed his face. Okay, he's good.
He's good. Got
He's
the
looking
thumbs up.
for Ray Finkel
Camera's still
and
good.
a clean pair of shorts.
Wow.
And the strikeout for Kavan gets George a second time.
She just owns her on that rise ball away. We talked about it her last at bat. Comes right back to it. We're talking 3 straight pitches, same spot. To try to make that adjustment. It's so hard. You see that swing path underneath it. And it's a big hitter for a strikeout.
This is Cassie Reasoner. Grounded out to third, a fabulous backhanded play by J.C. Nichols. Winner of this one into the semifinals against either OU or Georgia tomorrow night. Good. Martinez, Stewart. Not in time to get 2, but they get the force out. 2 down.
It's a Texas defense that does a good job up the middle between Good and Martinez. Good is going to get to this ball. Nice toss over to Vivi Martinez. Cassie getting down the line. Quick time, making sure she's not doubled up.
This is Leilana Applin. She grounded out her first time up. I count only 1 fly ball so far against Kavan.
Because they've been swinging through the rise ball.
Yeah, they've missed all the rise balls. 6 strikeouts. Nichols, quick time. Side retired. Championship of the tournament title. And the walk here to Hannah Wells. We saw Brooke Wells earlier today hit a home run. We'll see Kendall Wells later tonight.
I see a graphic coming.
What you got, Hallie Rowe?
Well, you were talking about home runs. My ears perked up because Hannah Wells, who just got walked there, second most by a freshman in program history. And, you know, she can tie Katie Stewart with her 13th home run. So I'm curious to see if that happens this weekend. But she's had home runs in 3 of her last 4 games. And Texas, you talked about their offense is not big boppers this year. Well, Hannah Wells did not listen to you.
She's hitting them far anyways.
She was not an everyday starter, Holly Rowe, and the fact that she's kind of earned herself into this lineup, had a huge series against Oklahoma, and the upset win, she was actually it was her home run that started that rally. Yeah. Katie Stewart, of course, the one everyone remembers because she hit it off the building.
And was one of the prep National Players of the Year last season, a 2-way. We may see her pitch as well here. Runner goes. Wallace, the pinch runner, and in there safely, and may have taken the throw on the backside.
70 stolen bases on the year for Texas. They just keep on going. Wallace, this is her back.
Off the back. It's her 4th stolen base of the game. Runner in scoring position here for Altmaier. And called strike 3. That's number 6 for Boyer. One down.
Boyer continuing to use that changeup very effectively on the outer half. It's got great movement, really good location. 5th strikeout of the game for Boyer. 6th strikeout of the game. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, that's 3 of the last 4 she's whiffed.
Yeah, and 3 of those 6 on the changeup.
Here's J.C. Nichols. Singled, stole a base, scored in that 3-run 3rd inning for Texas.
Yeah, 2 very different innings for Texas. The home run, getting them on the board in the 2nd off of Leanne Good, but the 3rd inning, it was started by J.C. Nichols and just using the ground. And Traxel talking about how hard this field is.
Boyer has struck out the last 3 Longhorns that have come up with a runner in scoring position.
Ball.
Boyer continuing to battle, uses that drop ball really well inside to lefties. And as a righty, that's tough to do. A lot of right-handed pitchers do not have the confidence to go on the inner half.
I see J.C. Nichols because of that backing off the plate.
Nichols goes the opposite way, and coming on to make the catch is Grisham.
She dropped it.
She dropped it, yeah.
Could not hold on.
She made a great read, but ends up getting it actually right off the heel of the glove. She almost gets a jump on this, slides down to go catch it, but instead of getting it in the web, she gets it off the hand, pops right back out.
Yeah, it looks like a pinch hitter will come up here in the 9 spot. Alyssa Sneed to hit for Maloney.
That's a big change, too, and I know this is more of a trying to get runners in scoring position in, and Ashley Maloney, a little more short game, but how much Maloney has struggled. Normally a key cog in that 9-hole.
Sneed 275 on the season. A home run and 7 runs batted in.
Well, Mike White told us today that Altmaier and Maloney are the two that bats he really wants to try to get going. Both of them have struck out each of their at-bats, so just trying to figure something out to get some production out of those slots.
And Sneed quickly falls down 0-2. Slow roller to first. Yamas will step on the bag. 2 down with runners on second and third. And back to the top with Caden Henry. Grounded out in the first, singled and scored in the third. On the season for Ole Miss, she was their best hitter. 6 hits, 6 RBIs, 7 runs scored in the 3-game sweep.
And I like in this situation, she's not biting outside of the zone, which is what Boyer is very good at making hitters do, because Katie Storter's on deck. If she can draw a walker, load up the bases,
yeah,
gives Storter an opportunity to do more damage.
Those 3 wins, a part of the 14 top 25 wins for Texas. They lost their 3 South Carolina wins because the Gamecocks fell out of the top 25 RPI. They slipped down to 26. But it's still second best to Oklahoma. And the strong RPI and the strong SOS. I mean, amongst a handful of teams near the top, Alabama, after their big win against Arkansas, likely to knock the Razorbacks out of the race for the overall #1 seed for the NCAAs. But got Bama up there, you got Texas up there, OU, Florida, probably going to go to an SEC school.
It's interesting. You could make a case for 4 or 5 different clubs to be the #1 RPI. It's been that sort of year.
Which is refreshing, honestly. In the past, it's been a clear #1. Everyone's kind of clamoring for 2 through 5, but we've seen a lot of different teams rank #1, including this Texas team to start the season.
Henry, ground ball to short. And that will end the threat. 4-0 Longhorns through 4. Hour in the Big Ten tournament for the Bruins against Penn State. Laura Espinosa's 37 homers from 1995 still standing. Both UCLA and Oklahoma tied, setting a new record for team home runs with 173.
1995. I mean, just the fact that it has stood that test of time.
31 years.
Even just the difference in technology. And I'm not just talking analytics and like scouting pitchers. I'm talking the ball, talking the bat, the aluminum versus the carbon. It's just amazing.
Pitchers dominated back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the time for the pitchers.
Yeah. 80s and 90s.
Average ERA was 2.64. Now it's 4.65. That just gives you an idea of what Laura Espinosa did in a time when it was 1-0, 2-1. Runs per game were half of what they are now. So you put it in perspective of the time, and it's almost like she hit 70 home runs instead of 37.
Yeah. Grisham fouls that one off. Yeah, the pitchers ruled through the 80s, you know, Debbie Doom and company. And then into the 90s, that was the first team. They had 3 mashers on that team in 95. Espinoza, Jenny Dalton-Hill, and Leah Bratz.
Yes.
And they had Nancy Evans, who also hit for them and was one of those pitchers that dominated. He's pitching coach now for Ole Miss.
But that was the first team that really mashed.
Yeah, we had a lot of slapping back then, and a lot of people thought Arizona won their national championship with their slappers, but it really wasn't the slapping.
They
used the long ball.
They
Exactly.
blended both so well under Mike Andrea.
The table setters got in, and then Espinoza and JDH.
Yeah, because Allison Johnson was on that team, so was Amy Shellevold.
It was such a fun team to watch. Honestly, it's what put offense on the map in a pitching dominated game. There's Nancy Evans, 3-time national champ. It's also when Arizona and UCLA just dominated too.
Yes.
It was like 2 teams and that was it.
Nancy's record, I believe, still stands. She has the best win percentage in NCAA history with at least 100 wins. A strikeout there for Kavan. That's number 7. 1 down.
Kavan continuing to really just paint the corners. This is a drop ball that she gets the chase on. Grisham is going to chase this down into the dirt. And that's what makes Kavan so effective. She's got that elite rise ball, but also an elite drop ball.
Ryan Starr put down a sacrifice her first time out.
Ball inside.
Upset alert in the Big Ten tonight. In the 4th inning, Wisconsin leading Oregon. Oregon, a team right now on that super regional host bubble. Could be significant for, an SEC team like Tennessee.
Big Ten's got a few teams battling to be in the top 8. Get that super regional host opportunity.
UCLA's right there as well.
Opportunity to stay at home for supers. Get through your regional.
Shadows. That is not fun. Especially because Kavan's wearing all white. So she's glowing. She's out there, and then she'll jump into that shadow, and she'll basically disappear. So when you're trying to pick up release point, so right now you see where she's at, white uniform, yellow ball, really easy to see, and then watch her jump into the shadow. Gone.
Rise at the eyes. Strikeout number 8.
She comes back and throws this rise ball right back by Starr. Hard enough to hit Tegan Kavan on any given day, but then you got some shadows playing into it. It's tough to pick this up and be able to hit.
She's done a good job of chasing them and really putting the ball in a position, inducing that swing and miss. I think the other thing that Kavan has worked on lately, and it can really tell, is that she's getting underneath her rise ball, really reaching back on that pitch. And when she reaches back, she lowers that release point so it looks at a different level to a hitter's eye. And conversely, on her rise, she pulls her body a little more forward, releases over her front side. So that pitch is more coming high to low.
Ball.
Two 1 to Malvin.
And that's where something Ole Miss I'd like to see against Kavan. Not easy against a rise ball pitcher, but them using the ground more. This is definitely part of an advantage to hit ground balls. Normally it's not. You want to hit fly balls in today's game, but here they've turned into hits. Malvin, one of those players, can use that ground.
Good at bat here from Malvin, who singled off of Kennedy, one of just the 2 hits for Ole Miss. She and Grisham at the bottom of the order. Florida and Alabama. The coaches with the most. Tim Walton with 6, Pat Murphy with 5.
Ball.
Katie Stewart leading off this inning. It's a questionable pitch, kind of off the plate and down. I don't think they're going to give her anything good to hit.
A ground out and a walk. Katie did come in to score a run in that 3-run 3rd inning.
Ball.
6th in the country in home runs this year.
She's got such a unique stance. It's like she's sitting in a chair. Anyone who's ever done squat holds or walls knows that that takes some serious leg strength just to be in that stance. Such a strong player.
Second walk. What you got, Holly Rowe?
Well, Emily Boyer continues to battle out there for Ole Miss right now. And we told you earlier, you know, she transferred up from Division II. It's a big jump. But I was talking to her teammate, Percy Yamas, today, and she said, well, we call her Shohei because she can pitch and she can hit. We haven't seen her mash yet, but it's possible. They also said that she came in and she adapted quickly. She was super competitive. She killed it in fall ball. No one would have ever known that she was a Division II athlete. She said the very first week we saw her, we're like, okay, Shohei, you're gonna take us a long way this season.
That's awesome.
Well, this tournament is so tough. You know, the coaches all talk about it. It's the toughest tournament outside of the World Series. And this is going to be a tough out for somebody somewhere. Of course, if they can rally here to win and reach the finals or win it all, I mean, they could be a host. They're a 21 RPI.
Well, we've seen it before. This tournament has that much.
They did it,
influence.
2017.
Exactly.
Got to host a regional and then got knocked out in the supers at UCLA that year. Martinez fouls it out of play. Vivi had the 2-run single in the 3rd.
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
She don't strike out a whole lot. Second best in the SEC. Only 7 total all year long.
She likes to swing the bat, and her bat-to-ball skills are so good. And that's a lot of times what you'll see. That last pitch was a ball, but she knows she can make contact with it. In fact, she'll hit pitches just barely off the ground, drive it into the gap. Doesn't walk a ton either. She's a swinger early on and in a bat.
1-2 pitch. Missed out on their championship run last year with an injury. Was a terrific teammate and a leader. And a mainstay in the lineup once again at shortstop for Texas. Grounds that one to short. They'll get the force. One down as Stewart is taken care of. And let's see if Reese Atwood can figure some things out. Emily Boyer has struck her out twice with a steady diet of changeups.
I would give her anything else. I mean, maybe set up the changeup.
Make her prove she can hit it or make an adjustment on it.
And if you're Reese, you're just trying to be late. They've been throwing her away. Try to hit anything to the right side of the field and then just hope you pick up the off speed enough. She's so strong.
Reese does not have a 3 strikeout game this year. And she did not strike out against Ole Miss in the regular season. Different story tonight.
Hey, 2 on, ladies, 2 on.
In fact, it's only happened once in 240 career games.
It's interesting because there was a time that Reese Atwood would hit the changeup for a home run.
Yes.
You were very careful when you threw it to her.
You had to throw it in the dirt if you didn't want her to hit it. That's what happens when you're trying to make something happen. The game speeds up. You're able to pick up spins. Right there.
And there. So.
There's the difference. Those are the numbers that Ole Miss and every team facing this Texas lineup, but specifically Reese Atwood. That is a dramatic difference, especially the swing and miss rate, not just the average, but that K rate triples.
And that's in the dirt, and Atwood draws the walk as we check out the best in the game, brought to you by T-Mobile, and that's because Leanne Good's coming up again, Jess.
Yeah, Leanne Good, what she did. Her last at bat being able to get underneath this, and you'll see her being able to get underneath the drop ball. The adjustment that she made, you see this angle. That is what she's got to do. Normally comes down straight over the ball. Instead, she gets underneath, something that she has struggled with this season. A beautiful adjustment. And that's why that 32-degree launch angle.
Ground out to short. They'll get the lead runner at third. 2 down. Rebels denying Texas a couple of opportunities here these last 2 innings to really bust this game open and try and go for a run rule.
Texas hasn't had a hit since the 3rd inning. It's been all free passes in the 4th and 5th.
Two for 11 with runners on base. 1 for 6 with a runner in scoring position.
Of late, his first 32 games, and again, not getting consistent at bats. Remember, she wasn't an everyday player in the lineup.
When she was pitching, she wasn't always hitting when she was pitching, and she's really transformed herself as of late, especially in the power. 6 home runs in her first 32 games, 6 cents.
Two on to Wells.
Holly mentioned it earlier. Wells just 1 home run away from tying Katie Stewart's freshman record of 2 years ago of 13 home runs.
Her last 10 games stretch out over the last month. And that was a tough shot for Bunker to take.
Those are scary more than anything. Right back to the face mask. It just jars you.
Oh, off the shoulder. Well, you could hear the grunt from Cam Ellison, the home plate ump, as he heard that one hit Kennedy Bunker. In her throwing arm, the throwing shoulder.
She's fighting tears. Talk so much about exit velocity now, bat technology, but for these catchers, they're taking balls off harder than they ever have. It's nice of Hannah Wells to say something to her too.
And her chest protector is very narrow up over the shoulders. A lot of catchers will have actually pads on the shoulders to prevent that type of foul ball.
Full count here with 2 down. Runners will be going. Wells launches one down the line. And foul.
Wow.
Inches away from a 3-run homer.
You're talking about launch angle. I mean, you gotta replay this because this changeup, her to be able to get underneath this. Look at where this ball is, you guys. This is almost in the dirt. She launches this. Just foul.
And draws the walk. That is the 3rd of the inning from Boyer, and the bases are loaded for Kaya Altmaier. And we may have a pinch hitter coming up here for Texas.
5th walk of the game.
Going to go to Katie Bennett off the bench here.
Somebody talked about this earlier. Mike White, I talked to him this morning. He's like, I'm searching. This part of the order. Kai Altmaier getting the start. Katie Bennett. He's like, someone fight for this. You're going to be my left fielder, but I need someone to step up and show me that you can start. Still battling here late in the season to finish the lineup.
Good ball.
Second time they've had the bases loaded. First time Martinez had the 2-run single in the 3rd inning. And with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th, she sends one out. It is a run rule win. Not likely. She has the 1 home run on the season.
Wind is blowing out though, Beth.
And they could inch a little closer. Two and one. Down here at the bottom of the order for Texas.
Massive pinch hit. We're talking about a player stepping up. Mike White's been talking about it. Katie Bennett off the bench. Again, getting underneath a pitch that was down in the zone. And remember, outfield's pulled in. So you look at the location of this pitch, a beautiful job of driving it opposite field. But also because the outfield is pulled in, Melvin out in center field. A clear double. Two
And
more come in.
Now a base hit could end it. J.C. Nichols. One for 2 has singled and scored and also reached on an error. Ooh. Wells at 3rd and Bennett at 2nd would be the game winner in a walk-off run rule. Nichols reaches and cannot deliver there, but a couple more up for Texas. To the 6th inning we go.
Yep. See the waving pink hand?
There's Mackenzie Pickens. Looking for a base runner here in front of Yarmus and George, who might be coming up for the last time tonight. The way that Kavan's been hurling.
And that rise ball, though. You know it's coming as a hitter, and you just keep seeing the swing and miss against her. Low contact on that pitch.
Out to center. Henry is there. 2 down.
I like seeing the shades, by the way, from the outfilders, because we've seen balls lost in the sun, and a lot of times the sunglasses are on the forehead. So they're actually pulled down and
use them.
Those balls are hit into the sun, but good reads.
Here is Yarmus with 2 down. A strikeout and a walk for her today. Right back to Kavan. And a 1-2-3, 6th inning. Ole Miss down to its final 3 outs. 5 innings of work for Emily Boyer, and she departs. And Aycock comes on. She got the win against Tennessee yesterday in 4 innings of work. Ashton Maloney to lead things off for the Horns, and then the top of the order. If they can score 2, they can run rule and get out early. Otherwise, one final at-bat for Ole Miss in the top of the 7th.
Kyra throws with that good velocity. She'll be up near 70 miles an hour. So there's a lot more down. Had typically been a lot of rise and screwball.
Down the line at 3rd and rifled across the diamond by Ryan Starr. 1 down.
How about Ryan Starr? This ball hit right at her, but with the speed of Maloney, She guns it across. And she knows she's got to get rid of it quick. It actually was a little bit of a slow hopper, took a little bit of a funny hop.
90-mile-an-hour cutter she threw at first base.
And that's just another reason why I'm so glad they went to the double bag this year.
Yes.
It made such a big difference. That throw could have been massive trouble if both the defender and the runner were fighting for that white bag.
There's Caden Henry in the top of the order. We start to punch tickets now this time of year. Congratulations to Idaho State. They beat Sacramento State to win the Big Sky. I think Holly Rowe dancing for the first time in school history. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yes. All right, so 63 more to go, folks, for Selection Sunday in a few days' time.
Does softball increase like men's and women's basketball have? What do you think? Is that the next
What's that?
change? Does softball, do we get more teams in the tournament like men's and women's basketball are?
I would like that.
I don't know,
I'm sure
We just
they'll
add another
consider
team
it.
for every regional. We used to have 6-team regionals before there was super regional.
Is it 6 or 8?
6.
Six?
When I played anyway.
Okay.
Maybe it was 8.
There was no
further back.
supers. It was all in
Yeah.
one weekend.
Yeah. More teams, less sites. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 8 regional sites.
Yes, you are seeing this correctly. There are puffy jackets out. There are winter coats out. That sun goes down. It is cold this weekend in Kentucky. There you go. She's got it.
Puffy.
Okay, they must be
Blankets.
selling out of those SEC blankets. How brilliant was that? Pink, they look like sleeping bags.
Georgia's on deck. They got Oklahoma in our nightcap tonight. 9 seed versus the 1 seed. Henry deep in the hole. It's short, and she'll beat it out. So the game winner comes to the plate here, and it's Katie Stewart. One swing away from ending it early. Has walked her last 2 times up. Did not really see a competitive pitch. New pitcher, though, this time around for the at-bat. Off the end of her bat.
Those are an off-speed pitch to start her out. Kyra Aycock has really done a good job of developing, transferred over from Oklahoma State University, and Nancy Evans has really worked with her to develop some new pitches, a good off-speed, tighten up those mechanics. She does step a little bit to the left side, so she's got a little bit of a unique pitching motion. Let's see if Katie Stewart can get dialed in on her.
In for a strike, 1-2. Called strike 3.
Clipped the bottom of the zone. I think that angle you were talking about, Smitty, I mean, it's a tough look because it creates a different angle. You watch Aycock step to the left and then it comes off to the right. So that angle kind of coming at Katie Stewart, still strike 3 right at the knees.
Vivi Martinez, who drove in a couple with a single in the third. Two-run double for Katie Bennett and the home run for Leanne Good. The runs for Texas today. Oh, and that one hit the home plate umpire. Cam Ellison. 0-2 from Aycock.
Ball.
Late protective swing from Vivi Martinez on that last one. I think she was looking more middle away because that's where she's been pitched, and this comes up and in. And watch how last second she's like, "Ew, this could be strike 3," and just barely gets a piece.
Another one in on the hands, fouls it off. So a couple of hit and runs going on.
Henry just trying to get another stolen base. Faster runners in the SEC. Already a SEC leading 70 stolen bases. They've had 4 in this game.
Oh, nice snag by Aycock and makes the play over to first. Last chance coming up for the Rebels. To the 7th we go.
She's been outstanding. 9 strikeouts, just the 1 free pass. Limited to 2 hits.
George will send that one on a play.
You know, as a hitter, like I've been there, and you know exactly what you're going to see, but it's a combination of what do I want to swing at versus what I want to take. You saw some of those swing and misses against Kavan were on pitches that were not strikes. That first pitch she just swung at, though, was. Now you're seeing her toes on the line. That's an adjustment. She was not on the line. Now she is.
Well, I thought.
Kavan has been impressive of her 6 innings. 4 of the 6 have been 1, 2, 3 innings. I mean, she's been efficient. But now, late in the game, Ole Miss starting to make those adjustments on how they're pitched.
She has struck out 7 of the 9 in the batting order. George skies that one out towards Bennett in left. Oh, and she drops it. Another dropped pop. That's been an issue in every game today.
I mean, clearly the sun is real, but the biggest thing is just she gets it out of the sun here.
There's Cassie Reisner. That pitch in the dirt. Atwood able to block. Two and 0. Reisner a ground out and a fielder's choice. Henry will track this one down, and the runner will hold its second one out.
I'm in my sewing room at B-Road.
Here's Applin, 0 for 2 tonight. She and Reisner are the only 2 that have not struck out against Teagan.
Pitch count for Kavan approaching 100. You know, you go back and look at this game earlier. Opportunities really in the 4th and 5th inning for Texas to put this game away and didn't. Most important would be to save the innings and pitches for Kavan.
Another chance here for Bennett, and this time she does make the catch. 2 down. It was interesting because the game plan could have easily been get out to the early lead, get Teagan out of the game. Texas chose not to do that. And we'll see if that impacts whether Teagan can throw tomorrow if they advance to play Oklahoma or Georgia.
Well, and that's really what it comes down to in a tournament like this is, you know, preservation of those arms, of those pitches.
Runner will move over to third, Rediger.
I think it's more of a pass ball there, too. It's not a bad pitch.
Just continuing to keep your focus, stay sharp.
It is a pass ball.
On doing Kavan things, just great effort in the circle. 9